Hello there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lin. Thank you so much for giving me a few minutes to come out and hang out with me. I don't take that for granted. And if you're new here, this is a safe space for me and you to have both conversation, all things positive vibes with extra fun on it. And I'm just so hyped up today, guys, because we made it to the third episode of What Goes Unsaid podcast. It's a podcast that I started recently, and I already have two episodes out there on my YouTube channel. So feel free to just go and check them out after this. And just don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if this content helps you in any way, make sure it helps someone there. So yes, without wasting any more minute, we're gonna get right into what we're supposed to talk about today. And today we'll be talking about how you identify yourself or how you see yourself. Because so many times people will judge you whether you're doing good or bad, whether you're doing it right or wrong. People will label you so many things because maybe they feel like you being your truest self is an intimidation to them. Maybe they are scared of, oh, you're so strong, oh, you are so capable of this and that. Because they will call you so many names, literally so many names. And when I'm saying names, I mean them. Just you name them. Those names, you name them. Because when you just being your truest self, when you're just being your honest version of yourself, not everybody will appreciate that. But at the same time, you gotta look on the other side of life, or on the other side of the coin, as they say, that not everybody will hate you, but at the same time, not everybody will love you. But the best part of it is you getting to understand that this and that, or who and that, or this, again, they don't like me, or they don't see me, as I'm supposed to be me. Like they don't, I appreciate my truest version of myself. You gotta understand that concept, and you also gotta understand that those people who like you, those people who see you, those people who get you are the truest themselves. Like they kind of allow you to be who you are because they feel proud, they feel good, they feel amazed by how you're doing things or how you are as an individual. But I remember when I was younger, I used to be like that kind of a kid who was never, and I mean never, I was the most weird kid. And people used to call me a lot of names. People used to call me skinny girl. People used to call me little baby because I was so little. People used to call me this and that. As until now, people will still call you certain names. People will still try to label you differently from how you label yourself. But what really matters is why you call yourself, how you see yourself, or how you identify yourself is the best part. It's the most important part. Because see, they will call you lazy. People will call you depressed girl or depressed boy. They will call you mad person. They will call you extra. They will call you weird. They will call you ugly, pretty, that and that. But what matters is how you call yourself. It's how you see yourself. And I remember I was at this camping. I used to do set books, so I was at this camping. It's just like Nyanza, if I'm not wrong. And I remember we had this conversation with my producer, our producer, because I was at a theater production. And if you have done theater and set books, you know what I'm talking about. But so we kind of had this meeting or a get together after maybe a show. We go and just talk how the show was, or how the things were, or how we going on at that particular place, because it's a new place. We have not, okay, personally I had never gone to those guides, those places, to those parts of Kenya, where I was so surprised with how, when we come together, when we kind of get together as a production, we used to have this bold conversation too. We used to talk on how we see ourselves an individual, or how we kind of see the world, or what do you think of a certain issues, or certain people, or certain things that are happening out the world. And I remember there was this friend of mine, and he said, you being a person, you being a full version of yourself, you are a danger to so many people out there. Are you all getting what I'm saying? So this is what he said. You being your truest version of yourself, you being your strongest version of yourself, and you being the um, most amazing, the most biggest, the most um, strongest version of yourself. It's a danger to so many people out there, to so many people around you. And I never got that sentence or that word or that saying until now, until recently, when I thought to myself, oh, maybe a lot of us don't feel comfortable being ourselves because of the kind of an environment that we grew up from, or the kind of an environment that we were raised in. Because see, when you are being your truest version of yourself, and that being a danger to someone else, this means the problem is not with you. The problem is with them. The problem is with that individual who kind of thinks that you being your truest version of yourself is not okay, it's not right, it's not what it's supposed to be. Because we get up, you go to work, or you go to school, or you go to, you doing your daily doing, and you kind of rethink to yourself, maybe they called me that, or maybe they labeled me this and that because that is who I am. Maybe they called me lazy because that's who I am. Maybe they called me fat, maybe they called me skinny, maybe they called me weirdo because that's who I am. But see, that is not the problem, honestly. To be honest, on my own point of view, I think them calling you that, people labeling you this and that, it's okay. Believe me, it is. You gotta accept that. You gotta just try to put it together, try to connect the dots, and see from a different point of view, why is this and that? How is this and this? Why are they saying this and that? Because when you get the understanding, when you get the whole concept, when you get the whole um, realization of, yeah, maybe they called me this and that because of this and this, I guess it becomes much simpler, it becomes much easier with you as an individual to kind of put yourself out there. And most of us are just genuinely open with other people like you. We are all so many different types of people. We have been grown and raised and became from different places because we just grew up with different peoples, and because of how you are raised, and you don't realize that those kind of names, those kind of labels that people are labeling you, it's not you. It may feel like it's you because that's how our brain works. As humans, you kind of just, our brains just kind of picks things up, and maybe we kind of feed them to our mind, and we kind of just put them there, we shovel them in there, and we are like, yeah, that's where we're gonna be, that's who we are, that's this and that, because that's how people have make you feel, that's how people have made you see things about yourself that you're not. That's how people make you feel, because we don't get more comfortable with ourselves. We don't see ourselves as we are supposed to, because we are so wrapped up in our minds. We are so caught up at the moments where people kind of just pull you out there, and they kind of make you feel like, yes, that's who you are, that's how you should be. You shouldn't go to a certain level of life because that's not where you're supposed to be, or you're not supposed to be at a certain table because that's not where you belong. But believe me, you're getting the concept of this is, and of this is what it's gonna happen when I do this, when I take this step, when I make these choices. You're getting the concept of, you are not the problem. You're getting the concept that having to be called, having to be labeled, all these kind of names, that is not your fault, that is not who you are, that is them viewing themselves and kind of projecting all that onto you. Because see, when you try so hard to change yourself for other people, or when you try so hard to be different from who you are for other person, or for whoever you're dating, it may be a relationship, maybe romantic relationship, or maybe friendships, you're trying to change yourself, to change, to kind of fit there. See, you're changing yourself to fit there. at a certain place or at certain tables, at a certain relationship. It can be any kind of relationship. That means you are not having your fully freedom to possess your inner soul, to kind of reflect on yourself and just kind of rebel from all those kind of negativity and just bring out the positive side of you and see yourself as who you are. Because you're trying to escape your parts of yourself, those kind of parts that you kind of feel like they are not supposed to be seen by the world, I think you do more damage rather than healing. And that's why you see a lot of us, a lot of youths here in Kenya. I'm gonna be specific because I don't know about the others, but yo, I'm just gonna be open about this. Yo, there are a lot of youths out there, younger people, who are more vulnerable with how the situation is or how people are around them, and we are kind of more comfortable not being ourselves, but at the same time we are just suffocating ourselves, our inner soul. We are suffocating who we are because we're trying to cover up, we're trying to run away from our version of ourselves. We damage our mind, we damage our soul, we damage our hearts, we damage our inner thoughts, our inner soul, and we damage the whole idea of you being a person, a true version person, with all these parts of yourself that are scary. They might be not scary, they might be good, they might be not good. You just name them. And we as young people, because this is how our parents or our guardians or whoever you grew up with made you feel. Because believe me, parents or even guardians or those people that raised you up, they're gonna make you feel sometimes that you just putting yourself out there, you being your true version of yourself is not right. You know that. And they're gonna make you feel like here and now is not the moment for you to just rebel from those kind of negativity. And they're gonna make you feel like you have to be caged in a way that you can't just express yourself, whether it's your emotions, whether it's you expressing yourself spiritually. And I don't know whether I'm the only one. There's this kind of habit, I'm gonna call it habit, where most of our child most of us, when we were growing up as children, when we were being raised by maybe our grandparents or maybe our parents, there's this point where you kind of try so much to be that side of that the other side of yourself, the other side of yourself where you have been hiding or something like that, and you kind of do something different from what they have been used to, and then they kind of don't like that because they have never seen that part of yourself. And see, this is the different this is so funny with humanity. See, people will make you feel not okay with yourself exactly the moment where you're feeling good about yourself. Debate me on this, but yo, I am right on this. People will make you feel like you're not good enough for yourself, or make you feel like this is not your position to be this and that, at that exact moment where you are feeling the freedom, where you're feeling comfortable with that version of yourself. And they kind of don't realize how much it takes for someone to just put yourself out there to the world and to kind of feel free to just express yourself in a certain way. And I think you're realizing that you have more power, you're realizing that you have more capability to be that version of yourself. I think you become the most strongest version of yourself. And when I say that, a lot of our guardians or parents raised us in a very different environment, and we are all different at a certain way. We are all different when it comes to mind, thinking, to doings, to the things that are around us. We kind of view things differently because we have been brought up in a different environment, and that's okay. I think you being different is the most important part of it. I think you seeing yourself in a different way is the most uniquest way, because you gotta be unique to stand out. You're gonna be okay to stand. You're gonna be okay with yourself to stand out as a certain version of yourself, because every time You put yourself out there. Every time you show a certain part of yourself to other people who don't know you at that point or that version of yourself, they're gonna think that, oh, she's crazy or he's crazy, oh, he's there, he's this and that. And I know I'm not the only one. When I was growing up, I didn't have that kind of an environment where I could just express myself in a way that I want to. I always felt like I needed to be different, because how people see you, how people view you, it's not who you are. To be honest, that's not who you are exactly. Because I think people who understand you, people who know you, people who see you for who you are, they may have a just 3% of your whole personality, of maybe of who you are as a person, but those people don't know you. Why let all that negativity get inside your head? Why allow people to project their lives onto you? Why allow people to make you feel like it's okay for you to not be good enough, that it's okay for you to not be strong enough for yourself? Because what really matters is how you see yourself. As I said, it's how you see yourself, it's how you define yourself, without allowing people to define you, without allowing people to make you feel like they have the right to come into your life, to come into your space, and just squeeze themselves in and make you feel like you're not that, and make you feel like maybe you're this. They kind of just shove it away, like, yo, this is not needed. That part of your personality, of who you are, of who you truly are to yourself. And they kind of fill your head and thoughts with all those kind of negativity, with all those kind of bad, terrible vibes, and you kind of have no idea of how much it's consuming you, how much it's kind of making you feel caged, making you feel like you are going out of your mind. But this is just something that a lot of us are, going through. A lot of us are just not in that position until life where we kind of have to put that side of what people see on us and just bring out the part of ourselves where we feel good about ourselves. Because you are that person who you see on the mirror when you wake up. Anything that you tell yourself, and this is the part where I also understood when I was, older. When people say that whatever you see when you're looking at yourself, whatever you feel when you're feeling yourself in the inside, is 100% who you are. Whoever you feel like, whoever you are when nobody's around, whoever you feel like every day, every second, whenever you are feeling down, whenever you're feeling sad, whenever you're feeling like you're not okay, whenever you're feeling like you are not in a position to be happy in your life, that is your version of yourself trying to express itself, because maybe you have been caging it for the longest time, and it's trying to call out to you, telling you, yo, I'm here, you need to let me out. And you see, your inner version talk to you. It talks to you way more louder than even your outer version of yourself. You gotta believe me on this. Your inner self, your inner version of yourself speaks louder than your outer version of yourself. Because when you don't listen to your inner self, when you don't take charge of who you are, of what you are, or of what capability you can do or you can have into your life, you're gonna put that side of yourself, the version of yourself where you are this stronger version, you're this powerful version, you're gonna put it out there. You're gonna let people know that this is who I am. Because as I said, people are gonna label you so many things. They're gonna call you so many times, so many names. They're gonna call you, and I mean terrible and maybe good names, but is that who you are? You gotta rethink to yourself. You gotta take those words one by one and just line up somewhere, and just take one by one and just rethink again. Is that who I am? Is this who I am? Is this and that what I am? Because you allowing people to feed your mind with negativity, you allowing people to feed your mind with words that are tearing you down, rather than looking for the things or the words or the better version of people's hearts that are gonna just fill your heart with all this joy, with positivity. Because for me, I know that you as a person, we in general, you have the capability, you have the power to decide what gets in here, what gets inside your soul, inside your heart, inside your mind. You have the capability to block anything that makes you feel less of who you are. You have the capability to make it go away. You have the capability to kind of block it and decide, yo, from now on, this and that won't destroy me. This and that won't make me feel like I'm not worthy. This and that won't make me feel down about myself. Because you're realizing that you have the capability to cut off all the negativity, all the people, or even the things that make you feel like you are not enough for yourself. You have the capability to do that, because whatever you feel in your head, whatever you feed your soul, whatever you put in your inner version of yourself is what will just be. So if you feed it negativity, you always see things as a negative point. You always see things are not okay. If you decide to just put the words or the names that people are calling you and kind of label yourself regarding with what they are calling you, then that's what you're gonna receive. As they always say, you can't plant a mango tree and expect to just harvest oranges. No, baby, you gotta have to accept that you have the capability to do all that, to just cut off, to just block, to just decide that, yo, I'm not gonna be needing any negativity. I'm gonna just focus on the positivity, because our mind works in a very different way. See, if you decide to put yourself or your mind, or if you decide to kind of feed yourself with all this negativity, then that's what you're gonna receive. You're gonna be doing things, you're gonna be doing things in a very negative way, if that's what you have fed yourself, or you have fed yourself. So choose to feed your mind, choose to label yourself to whom you are, not regarding with how people see you. Choose to identify yourself with how you feel about yourself, rather than how people are just identifying yourself as. Because they're gonna project their lives onto you, and they're gonna make you feel like you being yourself is not okay, you being yourself is not needed. They're gonna make you feel like you're supposed to be wherever they think you are, rather than what you are as a person, as an individual. So choose to be your own truest version of yourself. It doesn't matter how many times you're gonna fail until you just do it. You just have to keep on going. You just have to keep on reminding yourself that this is for me, this is for my sake. I'm not doing it this for anybody, I'm doing it for myself. I think it becomes easier and things start coming to an open way, and you're gonna feel, yes, I'm being okay. You're gonna see a difference, and I mean a huge difference. So choose to see yourself the way you see yourself. It doesn't matter how many times you gotta feel worthless. Doesn't matter how far gone you are. It doesn't matter how many parts of yourself are broken until you unbreak those chains, until you unbreak those negativity, until you unbreak those possibilities of yourself to be the best version of yourself. So unbreak those chains, unbreak that child trauma, unbreak the whole scenario where people made you feel like you're not okay for you being yourself, and break all that, and just bring the version of yourself where you feel comfortable, where you feel good about yourself, where you feel like this is the most safest parts of myself, and I need them to be seen, I need them to be heard, I need them to be checked on. Because when you do that, things becomes easier. When you do that, you become the most unique version of yourself. So don't allow people negativity to come in your head and just fill your head with all those kind of negativity. No, choose the paths where you know exactly that this is where I'm supposed to be. Doesn't matter whether you're feeling alone doing it. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether they'll make you feel like you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be making any progress towards greatness, towards evolving as a person. You shouldn't just allow people that just get in your head. Choose yourself. to be the best version of yourself. Choose yourself, to see the positivity onto yourself rather than focusing on the bad energy, on the bad vibes, on the bad characters of how people portray you. You portray yourself the way you want to, regarding of how people will make you feel. Because it's okay to feel down, it's okay to feel broken, it's okay to feel unsafe with yourself sometimes. Because see, when you're feeling all that, this means you're gonna outgrow those parts of yourself where you're not okay, where you're not feeling like you're being your true version. You're gonna outgrow them at some point in your life. You're gonna outgrow all of that negativity and just be the most positive vibe of yourself. Because you being the best version of yourself, it's a danger to others, but the best part is it's the most healthiest parts of you. And you're gonna be realizing that, yo, I've been wasting time with me trying to put all this positivity onto my mind. Even if the negativity is much higher, the positivity will always take over. As much as you want them to, as much as you allow them to, they're always gonna break you. But until you realize that this is not who you are, whatever they are labeling you is not who you are, you're gonna be the most part of yourselves are gonna be happy and you're gonna feel good about yourself. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. This is the end of our video today. But yeah, we're gonna be having the fourth episode of our Girls Unsaid with Lin podcast. Thank you so much for the hangout with me. Okay, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I don't take that for granted. I appreciate that so much. If this content helps you in any way, make sure to just subscribe, like, comment, and share. Just leave a comment down there and let me know what you thought about this video.